The Norwegian built ECI 6DX MK2 amplifier by Electrocompaniet is a balanced full analog amplifier with integrated DAC and streamer of own design. The power amplifier is class AB and it has a linear power supply, hence the weight over 20 kilograms. Sounds great, but how does it sound? About 50 years ago, Per Abrahamsen was asked if he could design an amplifier based on the ideas of the Finnish researcher Dr. Matti Outsala and the Dutch engineer Jan Loostro, both working at Philips at that time. Keyword here is transient intermodulation distortion, abbreviated to TIM. It would lead to the start of Electrocompaniet. Transient intermodulation distortion occurs in audio systems when nonlinear elements like amplifiers struggle to respond to rapid signal changes. It arises when two or more signals mix, creating additional frequency components not present in the original signals. This distortion is particularly problematic during the sharp transients, leading to a smearing of sound and loss of detail. TIM can degrade the audio quality, resulting in an unnatural listening experience. It is often measured and analyzed with specific testing equipment to ensure high fidelity audio reproduction. Mitigating TIM involves using high quality components and designing circuits to handle swift signal fluctuations effectively. Through the 70s and the 80s, TIM was the buzzword in high-end circles, and even today it's a factor of importance. So let's set expectations. But let's first see how the Electrocompaniet ECI 6DX MK2 is to be used. During this video I will use the abbreviated name 6DX. The 6DX is to be connected to a pair of loudspeakers. As a digital source you can connect a computer over USB-A to USB-B cable. That computer can connect to the internet over the modem router, and software on the computer can then send music from the internet sources or from the hard disk to the 6DX. It means the computer must be in the same room as the 6DX and thus better have no noisy cooling. It comes with an infrared remote that lets you choose inputs and set volume. But for streaming, the Electrocompaniet app for tablet or smartphone should be used. Or use Roon, for the 6DX is certified as Roon endpoint. The app should also be used to play music from a USB drive connected directly to the 6DX. An option I like better is to place the computer elsewhere in the house and have it connected to the 6DX over the network. You still use a tablet or smartphone to select music and sources, including Roon, Tidal, Qobuz or Spotify Connect. If you are an Audevana fan, that can be used too. It runs on the computer and is operated from the smartphone or tablet again. It connects the 6DX using the DLNA protocol. Playing CDs can be done if you connect your CD player to either the digital or analog inputs of the 6DX. A TV can be connected using either Toslink optical or analog. Analog sources like an FM tuner can be connected over XLR or RCA cables. If you also have a surround setup, you can use the 6DX with the connected loudspeakers as left and right front channels using the HT input. The 6DX has a sturdy steel cabinet. The front is black steel too, but has a thick transparent acrylic layer in front of it. It measures 470 by 430 by 128 mm and weighs a hefty 20.5 kilograms. On the front we see a monochrome display indicating what input is active. Next to it the infrared sensor for remote control. Then three small LEDs indicating the status of the 6DX, like starting up and Bluetooth pairing. In the center around the stylish E, an LED rotating around this logo indicating the volume settings. Below it the power button. The manual suggests keeping the 6DX switched on and activate the standby function on the remote control. It consumes 1 watt in standby. On the right, what Electrocompaniet calls the navigator, a group of 4 buttons, of which 2 are used for input selection and 2 for volume setting. The included remote control can not only control the 6DX but also an Electrocompaniet CD player. The layout of the rear corresponds with the layout internally. Top left we see the streaming section with the Ethernet connector, a USB-A for connecting a storage medium holding music and the reset button for the streaming circuit. On both ends of this section we see Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antennas. Below it the digital inputs. From left to right, Toslink Optical 1, USB-B for connecting a computer as music source, SPDIF Coax 1, SPDIF Coax 2 and Toslink Optical 2. Again, below that the remote control functions via RS232 for those large fancy boardroom remotes, a trigger input and a trigger output to have the 6DX switch on and off simultaneously with, for instance, a CD player. Then the analog inputs, starting with the balanced line input on XLR called CD, following the 2 unbalanced line inputs on RCA, named DVD, and AUX. You can of course use any input for any source as long as the plug fits. The only exception is a turntable that needs an RIAA preamplifier. The HT input, also unbalanced and on RCA, goes directly to the power amplifier, thus is not influenced by the volume control. This way you can connect it to the left and right preamp outputs of a surround processor and use the speakers connected to the 6DX as left and right front speakers. Next are the outputs. The line outputs first, available as unbalanced on RCA and balanced on XLR. Then the sturdy speaker terminals that accept forks, banana plugs and bare wire. The mains fuse and IC input finish the tour of the back. When opening the 6DX, it becomes immediately clear why it weighs over 20 kilos. The lid is already quite heavy, but a hefty toroidal transformer certainly plays the main role. Copper is a heavy metal, but it is the second best conductor for electricity, the first being silver, which would make the transformer prohibitively expensive. The transformer changes the 115 or 230 AC line voltage into a number of several lower AC voltages. Electrocompaniet ships their products set to the correct voltage for each country, but it never hurts to check the label on the back to see if the correct voltage version is shipped to you. Next to the transformer, the low AC voltages are converted to low DC voltages and then buffered. We find 4 times 2200 microfarad Nippon Chemicon capacitors for the preamp stages and 8 10,000 microfarad Dicon LT-PAD capacitors for the power amplifiers. Behind it we find the streaming module designed by Electrocompaniet themselves. Below it is a thick metal plate for shielding and below that the circuit board that does the digital I/O and the digital to analog conversion. An XMOS chip takes care of the USB signal while a Burr-Brown sample rate converter handles the SPDIF and Toslink signals. Internally the signals are upsampled to 176.4 or 192 kHz. Next to it the clock crystal and close to that the Cirrus Logic CS4398 DAC chip. It is a multi-bit sigma delta modulator that does PCM up to 192 kHz and DSD 128. Again, below this board is the main circuit board that holds the balanced analog preamplifier circuits and the volume control shown here. The volume control is done by a motor-driven potentiometer controlled by the 2 buttons on the front, the remote control or the app. To show the position of the volume control, there is a rod connected to the axle of the potentiometer that ends just behind the front panel. A small round disc is mounted to it that holds a blue LED. This LED circles around the Electrocompaniet logo on the front. Returning to the inside, we see a small cooling profile holding the driver transistors, and the power transistors are mounted on a large cooling profile. As a Class AB analog amplifier, it works like amplifiers have worked for donkey's years. Connecting a source, selecting the corresponding input using the left and right buttons of the navigator, or the input selection on the remote console, and Bob's your uncle. Volume can be controlled using the navigator on the front and the remote control. Using 5 digital inputs works the same way. Streaming from Tidal and Spotify works by starting the corresponding app on your smartphone or tablet and then selecting the 6DX as output. The 6DX is also Roon certified, so if you like the great user interface and catalog management system of Roon to stream your own ripped CDs, music from Tidal and Qobuz from your own app. You can start Tidal and Roon from within the Electrocompaniet app. For those that have trouble convincing the finance committee to take a Roon subscription, try to find an Elec Discovery DSS 101G. That comes with a lifetime version of Roon Essentials, say Roon Lite, but still more versatile as user interface than many others. Don't use the outputs on the Discovery, but connect the 6DX or any other Roon certified device as endpoint. Then we come to the ECI Play Amp by Electrocompaniet. It is slow when you want to stream your own music from your computer or NAS. You better use a DLNA app. There are many free and paid available for Android and Apple. If you are an Audivana user, you can simply connect the 6DX as output. The 6DX was connected to the PMC FAC12 signature loudspeakers on Stack Audio OVA 70 isolators over AudioQuest Robinhood Zero loudspeaker cable. The connection between the 6DX and the Zixel GS1900-10HP switch was over the Network Acoustics Eno2 system Ethernet filter. Access to the internet was over a Ziggo business modem that is connected to the Zixel over a Cat6 patch cable. Also connected to the Zixel is the Sonic Transporter i7 CDR that shares a Samba music volume. It also runs Minim Server and Roon Server. An iPad 2 was used to select the music over the apps mentioned in the In Use chapter. All equipment was placed in a Creative Trend 3-3 rack. I predominantly used Roon, but also Audivana. The 6DX was factory new and therefore burned in prior to listening for 8 days 24/7 on load resistors. Right from the first note, the sound was agreeable, musical. It came completely free from the speakers. There was an excellent control of the lows, giving a very deep bass when present in the recording. And although the quality of the bass was very good with excellent texture, quantity-wise it was a tad more than I appreciate. My house has concrete and plaster walls. People with drywalls might just find the bass sufficient. The mid-range sounds very clean with pleasantly natural voices, while the high sound refined, filigrane-like. Focusing is great and natural, not like the edged enhanced projection some Class D amps have. I rate this amp in my setup 1B halfway up. Since the 6DX can also be ordered without the streaming engine and DAC board, I wanted to listen to it as an analog amplifier, so I connected the Grim Audio Mute 2 player to the balanced CD input of the 6DX. That did not only change the resolution over the entire band, it also changed the sound character. It became more natural with less emphasis on bass. It is a bit a matter of taste, but it's more to my liking. Anyway, the amplifier appeared to sound very natural and controlled. If I put music in, it gives music out with authority and refinement. As an analog amp, I rate it top setup 1B. ECI 6. The 6DX can be ordered as ECI 6 MK2 without the streaming and DAC for €5,999 and as ECI 6DX MK2 with streamer and DAC for €7,399. The latter already sounds great, with lots of authority, stressless and with a sound character that is slightly on the warm side. This is for a large part due to the DAC, and I rather have it sound like this than on the bright side. The €1,400 price increase for the streamer and DAC is well spent. But if you want, you can even improve the sound quality further by investing more in a separate streaming DAC. Now if you think I like this amp a lot, you're absolutely right. And on that bombshell we come to the end of this video. There will be a new video next week, so subscribe to this channel or follow me on Patreon, Facebook, LinkedIn or Instagram to stay informed when new videos are out. Help me reach even more people by giving this video a thumbs up or link to this video on the social media. It is much appreciated. Many thanks to those viewers that support this channel financially. It keeps me independent and lets me improve the channel further. If that makes you feel like supporting my work too, the links are in the comments below this video on YouTube. I'm Hans Beekhuizen, thank you for watching and see you next week. And whatever you do, enjoy the music.